Hey, Justin, can you hear us?
I can. Let me just work on this. Oh, God. Damn it.
Yes, I can hear you. I could not until you just said that.
Maybe. Hold on. Okay, Justin, can you try again?
Can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Oh, sorry.
That's not Justin.
Yeah, he shows muted on the screen, isn't it? There he goes.
Are you talking to me?
Hey, Justin, just making sure that you can hear us okay.
Yes, I
It's
can hear
very
you.
faint, but
Okay, we cannot hear you guys. Hold on. I don't
the
know
town itself is
why.
muted on my end.
I can hear you guys.
Can you hear me?
Do it through. Okay, can you try again?
I can hear you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Still nothing. Something was echoing though.
Good to know that you can hear us, Justin. We just can't hear you. Thanks for putting that in the chat.
Oh my goodness, I can't see that far. Once this is plugged in, this screen goes black. Can't see.
Yeah, hold tight while Nicole troubleshoots the AV. Hmm.
Okay, Justin, can you try talking again?
Yes. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Still nothing. Okay, we're gonna just try each option. Can you try again?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Okay, hold on. Okay, try again.
Yep. Can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me?
Try
Hello?
all of them. We can't even hear that. Um,
Yeah, usually you hit a few buttons and then it starts working.
yeah.
I don't know if it would work to like go all the way out of the meeting and then go back in or.
It so when our sound guy for the board, he may have something switched over in the back. Because it is not. Because he controls it from the backside.
Yeah.
So we can hear that through this speaker. Okay, Justin, can you try one more time?
Yep. Can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Okay, I'm just going to see.
Can you hear me now? Anything?
Looks like we have a couple of folks on tonight as guests or making
Yeah.
public comment.
They're all with the applicant. Okay, Justin, one more time.
Yep. Can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me? Hello?
Hey, Justin. Give me 1 second.
We could almost hear you that last time, Justin.
So
Yep,
that's
can you
coming
hear me?
from my laptop. If we do that though, I'll have to turn off all these speakers.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of have to,
We can talk loud.
and maybe just run it off the laptop. I don't know. I know that Jim replaced the cord, but I don't know why it would have affected the speakers. Or why it's at least
Can you
not
hear me?
coming through the owl.
Are you able to hear me?
So we may just have to turn off
Are you able to hear me?
that and run it through the laptop. Okay.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
We have an echo though. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, we may have to do it based off of this. Sorry. I don't know what was going on with it. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on over here.
All you gotta do is turn it on and turn it off and turn it back on again. That fixes it every time.
Yes. Yes. Chair Williams. Here. Vice Chair Berteau.
Present.
Commissioner Aragon.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Commissioner Gidgerelli.
Present.
Commissioner Wood. And Commissioner Ehlers.
Present.
Perfect. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public comments tonight that are really?
There is nobody online for public comment. There's nobody in chamber for public comment.
Move on to the consent agenda, the minutes of the July 1st, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Does anyone have any questions or comments about those minutes? And if not, I would entertain. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gidgerelli, second by Commissioner Berteau. All those in favor? Aye. Moving into any conflicts of interest this evening? Hearing none, any agenda changes, Director Centeno?
We do not have any agenda changes.
Get into the first item, a public notice action item for the Lastavian Church site plan review continuation. Looks like staff is recommending that we continue this until the applicant has a chance to submit some documentation that they're missing.
Yes, so we were able to get their initial engineering and then Our engineer was out of town for 2 weeks. And so they are still working. Even if they had turned it back in, we wouldn't have been able to review it in a timely manner for this meeting. It just took a little bit too long for the remaining engineering, and there's enough engineering remaining that we want to make sure we get that buttoned up before it comes in front of the commission, since the commission is a final decision maker on that application for Lestadian Church. And so sorry, I apologize. I was trying to share this so that everybody online can see what we're talking about. I did talk to them. The applicant felt like even pushing it to August 5th was still going to be too much of a time crunch. So instead of continuing it to August 5th, I'm going to ask that the commission continues it to the September 2nd meeting. Yes, please.
Would recommend continuation of the Lestadian Church site plan review to a regularly scheduled meeting September 2nd. Second.
September 2nd, yes.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner. Second from Commissioner Aragon. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Perfect.
The next is also a public notice action item, recommendation to the Board of Trustees, Go Rental substantial compliance for annexation. Director Centeno, what can you believe? Thanks.
Thank you. We had talked to Go Rentals several months ago. They ended up putting in an application for Garfield County because they are in the county. And once the town sent a letter that we were not going to support out of town taps, Garfield County encouraged Go Rentals to come back and talk to the town. They did so. We had a really great conversation with them, and what they're trying to do definitely aligns with what the town would like to see as far as growth on that south easterly quarter of our boundary line. So they have put in an application for annexation, and the annexation process, I did indicate a lot in my staff report on what that process looks like. It's pretty tedious. This first application is just for substantial compliance. So we're just determining if they qualify to even petition for annexation into the town. They do meet the 1/6 contiguous requirement. So staff does recommend approval for the substantial compliance. It is a recommendation from the Planning Commission to the Board of Trustees. And I do have a recommended motion in here. I'm happy to go through the application more if anybody has any questions, but it is located right next to Heil, which is a business industrial designation. And that is the zoning that they're going to be asking for, is business industrial. And we'll get into that more once we actually go through the findings of facts, and they'll come back in front of the Planning Commission for a recommendation of zoning. Heil is in the town limits. He's our only business industrial designation within town limits. It is, correct. Yep, so the purple that's shown on the screen right now, that is our zoning designation for Heil construction. And then the star indicates this property that's petitioning the annexation. I did put the legal description and a little outline of what exactly where that property falls. It's in between the solar parcel that's in the county and Heil, which is part of the town. It is designated within our comp plan because it is within our 4-mile plan of growth, and it's designated as service and commercial support, which they are going to end up meeting with what they're proposing. I did add a schedule of uses of what's allowed in the business industrial within the staff report and some of the code requirements. This is not all of the code requirements. It would have made the staff report longer than anybody would care to look at, but I'm happy to get anybody a link to the full code requirements for annexation. I only put what was pertinent to what we're reviewing tonight for the substantial compliance. I did put that the recommendations for approval would include that all statements being made were accurate and true, and that the applicant provide any additional requested documents and pay any fees and proceed through the next steps of the annexation, and that the applicant conforms with town, state, federal requirements, including but not limited to what is outlined within the resolution for substantial compliance. There is a motion, and I also included the resolution that will go to the board for them to adopt for the substantial compliance. And the resolution number will be determined at the time that it's presented to the board.
So, just out of curiosity, on the map, it says United States of America, they own this. What branch is that?
I asked that same question. I don't know exactly who. I know the BLM owns what's a little bit farther over, but I don't know. It's owned by the government, but it's not utilized as anything. I was actually digging into that the other day. That is not. No, Heil is, he's a flagpole annexation out here. If you look at this zoning map, he's a flagpole annexation out there. It does not. No, it's just exclusive just to that purple section that's highlighted. So that's,
Attorney Sawyer states.
he has, yes.
Could you describe what a flagpole annexation means?
It means that it's isolated, that it's not contiguous on any portion of town boundary lines. So it just means that it's kind of out there by itself, but for some reason, the town felt that it was necessary to annex it in. And so that Heil being annexed into the town, we have a water line that runs along the river frontage road that crosses over to Coleridge High School. And so it's beneficial to the town to get more people on there as long as they're annexing into the town. The town's determined that we want to make sure that we're getting more people on the water line as long as they're bringing something back to the town and they're part of the town.
Yes. Like,
It could be. I didn't look into that to see why, or the reason why that was flagpole annexed. But it's very possible that there's some sort of easement that needed to run through there.
Great, thanks. Does anyone else have any questions for Nicole before we turn it over to the applicant?
Nicole, I see the water tap we did talk about. Sanitary, they did talk about the septic system out there. Do you have a line?
If they annex into the town, they would be tying onto water and sewer.
We do have sewer.
We do. Yeah. Yeah, we have both services running to Coleridge.
Alrighty, well, I'll take this opportunity then to welcome our guests who are here to chat about this particular item. If you guys want to maybe take yourselves off of mute, or if Nicole, if you could unmute them. And
Yes, we have Justin Sanford, that is the property owner. And then we have his attorney, Laurel Quinto also on the line. And if you guys want to introduce yourselves and add anything additional, please feel free. And I have the microphone close enough that we should be able to hear it. Oh, it's not on.
Hi, Nicole. Can you hear us?
We can.
Great. Thank you for putting this memo together and putting the report together. I don't have anything extra to add. Justin is here to give a brief overview of what he's planning for the property, if that would help the board orient themselves. Otherwise, I don't have anything additional to add.
great.
Hi, everyone, and thank you very much. Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, my name's Justin Sanford. I'm the owner of the property on out there. So thanks very much, Nicole, for putting this together. Appreciate that. What we're going to do out there is we're going to put a Go Rentals store in, a bigger facility out there to service the surrounding areas. And that'll be in the front section of the property like we discussed. And then in the back, we're going to do a storage facility in the back, which is more, it's going to be more like a man cave facility, invitation only. So it'll be bigger storage units, and hopefully we can. It's not going to be a small storage facility. It's going to be a more condensed and bigger units for surrounding businesses and the Garfield County Airport. So it'll be invitation only for people that qualify to get in there. So we're just trying to keep it high standard, is what we're looking at. That's pretty much it, really.
Great, thank you so much, appreciate it. Does anyone have any questions for our applicants this evening? Just to clarify, so you said towards the back, there's those bigger units are the more front-facing ones, are there's gonna be smaller self-storage?
We may have a couple of small ones, but it'll be the business will be up front. We're proposing to do about 125 foot by 95 foot retail in the front for Go Rentals, and that'll have all of the rental equipment, farm supply, all of that kind of stuff that we need. It'll be like sort of like a Tractor Supply, really, but it's going to be a rental yard, is what it's going to be. And then in the back portion, we'll be doing. We had looked at different options, but we are leaning towards what we want to do is the man cave storage. So we'll be able to, everything will be inside, no outside storage, all inside, and 25 feet wide storage unit by like 40 feet deep, with a 10-foot roller door on the garage door on the front of it, and that'll all be set in the back of the property.
Great, thanks for that further explanation. Nicole, I had a quick question for you just regarding, so tonight we're talking about the annexation, and then when that process maybe inevitably becomes completely approved, would the applicant then come back before us for like a site plan review for Go Rentals, like a use by right, or is that a special use?
It'll be a special use. So they'll go through, right now it's substantial compliance for annexation. And then it'll be findings of facts and zoning. And so all of that will come back through the commission. And then they will go through a site plan review and special use permit. That the special use will be a board decision, but the site plan review will be a planning and zoning. We're going to do them together, so it'll be difficult for the commission to approve the site plan review outside of the special use. So my recommendation at that point would be for the planning commission to keep the applications together and just make a recommendation to the board for the final decision on this one. So you'll see them several more times before everything is done.
The question is there any outside limit to the amount of retail square footage that they'd be allowed? Do we know that yet?
No, so what's allowed within that business industrial designation does not put a square footage limit on retail. And ideally, the more retail, the better for the town. So we would definitely encourage additional retail if they had it. But what puts them to a special use is the storage.
Right. But as far as the retail portion, it may tell you if it's one building, two buildings, one building, two tenants, whatever.
Yeah, I think, and Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the whole intention of this parcel is exclusive to Go Rentals. You're not going to have additional facilities there. You won't have additional tenants.
No. Go Rentals in the front and storage in the back. No living.
And
No, are you asking me if there's going to be living quarters there?
No, like, would you have any additional retail from a different tenant?
I don't believe so, but you know, it's not out of the question. You know, I've been approached about it. Other people want to put businesses in there with me, but you know, it's something I've got to talk to Brad about. But I think we're just going to be Go Rentals in the front and storage in the back right now.
Okay.
Well, since he brings it up, if we at some point decided we wanted to have living quarters for an employee there, now would be the time for us. Or we'd be best if we knew it sooner than later.
Yeah, so in the business industrial zone district, you're not allowed to have any residential. So and Justin knows that, so that's not something that would ever be able to come to fruition with the zoning. It's prohibited. It's not even a special use that there's a process to go through. It's just flat out prohibited.
Nicole, and seeing on here on the drawing here, as far as the annexation, you know, what's gonna be encompassed in that? And right now they're showing a shared drive property with the new set of plans and everything that's gonna incorporate new access into the property.
So we have to go, that'll be part of that next process of the findings of facts, is we will have to look at the CDOT access control plan and figure out where they can access the property through and exactly what CDOT will approve, because that is their road. So that'll be part of the next process that they have to go through once we get through substantial compliance, and we'll kind of dive into a little bit more to see those fine tuning details of where their access point is going to be and what CDOT, our access control plan does go that far. But we'll see if CDOT has any flexibility on what's going to be allowed.
Mr. Sanford, I did have a question for you. I guess just why rentals? I'm curious. You know, being able to do anything with the property, was there something that drew you to the storage rental aspect of it, of developing it in that way?
I caught some of that. Say that again.
So Justin, Chair Williams is asking why rentals. So maybe a quick rundown of exactly what Go Rentals is as an established business and why you're choosing to move over this way.
Okay. Well, equipment rental is a business that everyone uses. We're in Glenwood Springs right now on Highway 82, and we've outgrown this location. We have customers coming all the way from Wyoming to us. We have them coming from Grand Junction. We have them coming from all over, and we've run out of room where we're at, and we need more space, and there's a demand for it. So, and we'd like to be on the I-70 frontage road. It's a good place. It's a good location for us right there, right in the middle, and it's good access, and it generates a lot of tax revenue.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you hearing that perspective.
Say that again.
Appreciate it. Thank you for kind of explaining a little bit more about why you'd like to bring your business down Valley here. I think over the past several years, we've seen a handful of new storage facilities come into the town. And I know that there's been some discussion on kind of what the town's capacity or the town's temperament for that is. And so just kind of allowing for maybe some discussion surrounding that, recognizing that tonight we're talking about the annexation, but
Right.
I think there has been kind of some general conversations going on regarding being kind of maxed out with maybe some storage facilities. And from a personal perspective, you know, anytime we lose any river frontage is kind of tough. You know, I think that the river is our greatest asset around here. So as we continue to block that off, just something to also keep in mind.
Well, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of, or it's big throughout the country, And they have quite a few of them up in Denver on the I-25 corridor and different places like that. With people downsizing houses, there's a lot of people want to store expensive toys and that kind of thing. And I'm involved in storage, but I don't like outside storage. It's messy, and I don't want to have. You'll have to pre-qualify to get into this place. Not everyone can, not everyone is going to want to rent in there. It's going to be more upscale where people can put their, a boat inside, a car inside. It's going to be a nice facility. And I will get you, when we get a little closer, we'll get you some comps so you can have a look at how it all lays out. You'll be very impressed with it.
And we are getting a little ahead of ourselves, but there will also be a trail requirement and to preserve some of that asset. And then there's a concern that our engineer had brought up was he's slightly concerned that there's some wetlands that they may have to figure out with the Army Corps. So, I mean, there's definitely, this is like very, very preliminary first step, but I do have to say, we really appreciate Mr. Sanford's ability to collaborate with the town, because when this was going in front of the Garfield County Commissioners for approval as being in the county, the concept was going to be shipping container storage. And so when we cringed on the shipping containers, he was willing to revamp his thought process around it and what that's going to look like. And he's willing to work with the town to make sure that it's something that is better suited for the town than what he was going to do with his application through the county.
I might add to that question. In your Highway 82 business, could you tell us some of the equipment types that you're renting? Is it heavy equipment? Is it medium size or small things used for construction?
So what kind of equipment do you rent out, Justin?
Oh, you name it, we rent it. So, from
Heavy equipment,
forklifts, big forklifts down to sewer snakes, cordless drills. I mean, we rent everything, but this will be more of a holding yard where we can put all the bigger stuff on display. We'll have inside, we'll have bigger showrooms where we can have all the, the lawn and garden equipment and really showcase it.
very good.
We've got all sides, from large excavators, from a 2,000-pound excavator up to a 30,000-pound excavator, and the whole way through. Maybe not as big as the stuff that Dave Heil has next door, but be comparable. Not as much as that stuff, but
He's got a lot of used vehicles.
He does. Thanks, Justin.
thanks.
I think my only comment is, generally for what the application is, it seems like he's meeting all the recs. I don't know why we wouldn't suggest this go through. I think the comments I have are primarily the site plan. I think I see a whole lot of issues. And I know it's still early stages. I know you haven't poured a lot of money into civil yet on that. But I'm viewing it and seeing there's a long ways to go before we get to an approvable site plan. And I guess my hope would be is, I like this idea. I say go for it. Certainly would suggest, like I said, moving forward with the annexation. But my hope would be is that the site plan gets farther along. So as we're getting into the next round, we're already farther along with concept ideas, what we expect to see. I think it'll just save everyone a lot of time, especially if we're going to start getting into, I think, Nicole, you were saying about approving two things at once on the next time around, maybe both the zoning and possibly the site plan, right?
No, it'll be zoning and findings of facts. And then after they have the established zoning and approval, then they'll design the criteria around that.
I guess for me, it's always tough when we don't know. I don't feel like we know exactly what's going on here. I think we have the big general idea, and general idea I like. It's hard for me to get excited about saying, because once we annex, it's annexed. Yeah, and now it's a whole different thing, and what we thought may happen may never happen. That's certainly a possibility. So I guess for me, it's just, I'd love to see the site plan a little farther along. If it's not required, I guess I would just hope that the smooth process is along and back and forth.
Yeah, and Brad's on. Brad, have you guys gotten to the point that you have a little bit more of a solidified site plan?
We're getting further along with it. I think we've got the concept down. I've been working with my civil engineer on it. I think that's further along than what you may have a copy of. I've talked to Justin about it, and we've got some of the other concepts down. I worked on it before. I just got back from Scandinavia late last night, so I'm on an 8-hour time difference right now, trying to catch up.
And once the zoning, and that's where, as the planning commission, you guys really weigh heavily in on zoning, even though it's a final board approval, but for the zoning, that's kind of your fail safe. So if you're annexing a property into the town and you want to make sure you're 100% comfortable with the zoning, so that if this project doesn't take place, the next project would still fit within the realm of what you would expect to see on that property.
And my understanding was when we presented this, or when we submitted it, was to come in with what we have, and then once we were into the process, then we would continue to develop the site plan so that we had site plan review at a later date. I think that's what you're alluding to.
Yes, that's accurate.
And just another clarifying question I have is the repair shop that's attached to the Go Rental sales, is that to service the public as well and for kind of a similar scope of what you're renting out equipment wise?
So Justin, the repair shop, does that serve the general public as well as your equipment?
Absolutely, yeah. So we repair our own equipment, but we also have a major business in repairing customers' equipment as well. So they bring it all to Glenwood right now, from the farmers, tractors, all sorts of stuff. So we fix and repair everything.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? This is a public notice action item.
Yes.
So we will be opening it up to public hearing. Is that correct, Nicole?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If nobody has any further questions, I'll go ahead and open that up at 7:12. Do we have anyone online, in person, from the public wishing to make any comments about this particular application?
We do not.
Not look like it. All right, go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:13. If anyone has any final questions or comments for the applicants, otherwise on page 14, there are some planner recommendations and motions. Suggest motion.
And the recommended motion, you can put resolution number to be determined at the time of the trustee meeting. Right now, there's just X's.
Thank you. I didn't know if it was resolution XX, but that is.
Yes.
Right.
I thought it was 20. Recommend approval of a resolution, series 2025, for the substantial compliance of annexation of section 12 township, 6 range, 92 tract in lot 2, and part of Northwest Parcel B, do please exemption 5.49 acres with the conditions noted above and verbally added during this meeting.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Berteau,
I'll second the motion.
second from Commissioner Aragon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Okay.
All right.
Is that correct? Is that 92 draft?
Yeah, I believe that's what that's supposed to stand for.
Yeah, I think we might be missing something. That's section 12, township 6, south probably, range 92 west to 6 p.m. The track number doesn't seem to be in there, would be my guess. There is a title commitment down below if you want to correct it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's there.
Yeah, that was taken right off of the assessor, but the title commitment has the longer legal description.
It's the same as is printed in the resolution that would go towards.
Yeah.
Go to the board of trustees.
Okay.
The title commitment is the best place to get any of that legal description.
Justin, thank you so much. You guys were approved and we'll get you on one of the upcoming board meetings
Thanks, Nicole.
for substantial compliance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks very much.
Bring your questions, appreciate it. All right, we'll move on to commissioner comments for the evening. And usually we have a planner's report that's in here too, Nicole, on the agenda.
For the first meeting of the month, but since it's a second meeting, yes. Yes.
Round robin, any commissioner comments? Yeah.
Nope.
When we adjourn.
I just have one thing to say,
Oh.
really nice job at the concert last Friday. Really well attended, really nice time, so thanks again for.
There was, what, 700 people?
The clicker was at 8:50 and we typically lose some around the edges. People sneak in around us, but yeah,
Really nice job, long night.
it was a long night. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it was fun. Yes, the next one, I was on a 2.5-hour call with the upcoming band and trying to hone everything in and figure it out. And it's a lot, but I think it'll be really fun. So we got everything kind of ironed out and they're excited to come and we're excited to have them come.
Can I ask, do you recollect the glow sticks at the end of the night?
We do not.
Okay.
I actually walked around the field after the concert and picked up the ones that kids bit off everywhere. And yep, I don't know, somebody chewed one up. It was everywhere. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I started picking it up and I was like, ooh, it's all wet. And then I was like, oh my gosh, those are bite marks. Yeah. So most of the time they don't sustain the evening. So yeah.
Remake that version. We have the Panda movie coming up.
Friday, yes.
There food vendors that evening.
No, we haven't been having vendors come to the movie nights. Our movie nights are becoming less and less attended because we used to be the only entity doing it, and now everybody everywhere does movie nights. They do some variation of what we were doing, and so there's just a lot of options to choose from. Yeah, they're welcome to come. We just don't have quite the attendance to make it worth it for them to come. But as we're working through the Main Street Plaza a little bit more, that's where we'll hopefully have some more pop-up vendor opportunities. So we're working on getting there, but we've had there was a big conflict at the last concert, so we didn't have as many vendors as we normally do. So yes.
Hey, quick question, Nicole, also on this police. When they go through a sightline development like that, does that go through Derek Walters?
He's always a referral agency. Yes.
Okay, so they'll meet his recommendations.
They already have a bunch of his recommendations.
Very
Yes.
good.
He does a great job. Yes.
Yeah. This is like
Started building a list, and then I realized, well, this is not what we're here for. I need to step back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
Right.
Yeah. So before that comes to the commission, like any engineering, it has gone back and forth and been vetted out, and it'll come to you to where hopefully you won't have a list, or it'll just be one thing that you're questioning. And Derek's list was pretty extensive, even down to the Army Corps stuff that he went and looked around and walked the property, and there's definitely some potential wetland mitigation that's going to need to take place. So yes, and part of that wetland mitigation may end up being part of the nature trail that we're going to want, and we have to go look at elevation changes, and so there will be a lot more poured into. Even the findings of facts will tell more as far as the annexation, but not to that extent. That'll be site plan review. Yes. And it's just different processes that they're going to have to go through. But I mean, there's going to be a 30-day after they go in front of the Board of Trustees. There's a 30-day public notice requirement for the findings of facts. And then then it'll come back in front of the commission, and then it'll go in front of the board. And then once we have an established annexation and zoning, then we have to get everything recorded, and then they'll put in the full application for special use and site plan. And that's where we'll really dive into the particulars of that development. Right now, we're just looking to see if we can get this property annexed into town and zone it something that we'd be comfortable with being over there. There's a process. They have a lot to do still, yes.
Another business does a lot, we see them all the time, when I pass by,
Yeah.
they're maxed out.
Yes,
It's a lot cheaper for somebody to, that's a day or 2 days or a week.
yes, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they have a lot of equipment.
And I think that'll also help with a lot of our residential needs. Because, there are some towns that are over and they're updating, and then there's newer homes, and I don't know. Luckily, I knew people with a little bit of equipment for some of my stuff that I want to get after, and I could see that being a real benefit to the local populace,
I do too.
not just the supporting of the Highway 82.
Yeah, even our small home that my spouse and I moved into, that was one of the things like we talked about when we first moved in. It's like, it's crazy to us that every single house should have every piece of equipment. We're like, I wish there was a neighborhood like tool library or something. And so
Yes.
it's interesting to see the different components of this application. I'm really interested to see it develop more than I actually.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone. Michael, you want to remake your motion?
I move with adjourn.
Thank you, everybody. And Nicole, thank you for all your hard work, all the
Yes.
concerts and all that good stuff. It's